Hi, I'm Ross Jones, and this is how I got Google to pay me $150,000, my Podcamp Nashville 2012 session. First thing, a lot of people ask me, did you really make $150,000? And the answer is yes. Over the past number of years, I have been able to earn over $151,000 through the Google AdSense program. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a get-rich-slow scheme. And it's been very profitable for a way for my family to make some extra income. So first off, you may be wondering, who am I and how did I get to this point? Well, I've got a long history of dealing with internet marketing. About 6 months before Google.com was registered as a domain name, I had my first paying SEO client, and my first check from Google Incorporated was $29.23. My largest website that I currently have did about 2.2 million unique visitors last year. And in my spare time, I'm an adjunct professor at the Art Institute of Tennessee here in Nashville. I teach the IMD 405 Internet Marketing class to seniors in the web design program. I'm also in charge of the Nashville SEO and Internet Marketing Group, where at last count we've had 409 people come to our monthly meetings. And then finally, To the Top Web Design is my full-time company that I run. We provide web design, search engine optimization, consulting, internet marketing services, social media marketing, and other services to help promote a company or organization's web presence. So let's back up for a few minutes, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how I got started with Google AdSense. Back in 1997, I already mentioned to you I had my first paying SEO client in 1997, and at that time I had a regular day job. I was working for a perfectly fine company, but I knew that I wanted to do something else. I knew that I wanted to get out of working for somebody else and trying to figure out how I could be my own boss. A lot of people today are in the same situation, and so back in 1997 I was trying to figure out how I could monetize the knowledge of the internet that I had, and I tried a number of things. I was already doing some search engine optimization consulting. I was just getting into affiliate marketing, which was bringing in some additional revenue for my family. And I was also doing just getting started in web design and hosting for family and friends. And honestly, back then, and keep in mind this was 1997, the internet and the web was still pretty new. Search engine optimization was honestly very, very cutting edge. Not many people even knew what it meant, as opposed to today. And so, honestly, the projects that I was taking on were really pretty easy. And I was wondering, is it that I'm not getting in competitive areas, or am I really good at this? And so, in late 2001. The September 11 attacks had just happened, and so partially out of a true patriotic spirit and partially out of I wanted to see if I really was good at this search engine optimization thing, I built usaflagsite.org in late 2001, and within just a few months I was ranking for highly competitive terms like US flag and USA flag and American flag and flag etiquette, and since then I've been able to continue to grow the rankings and grow the traffic for the flag site, and I've built upon that. Also, this was the point at which I started having the discussion with my wife that I do want to move away from my day job and do something on the internet full time. And while she was supportive, she didn't really understand it, and so we weren't ready to make the leap. But then in the middle of 2003, Google came out public with the AdSense program, where people that had websites, publishers, could display Google ads on their websites and they can earn some money. In my first full month with the AdSense program, I brought home a check for $1,220. And when my wife saw that, that was the first step in helping me to be able to leave my day job and become a full-time internet entrepreneur. So let's talk a little bit about the flag site and how it got started. You'll notice that the design you're looking at looks very 2001-ish, and honestly today it still looks the same. It hasn't been updated. So when the AdSense program came out, I basically just added a couple of additional ads to the website, a leaderboard up near the top across there, and then a large skyscraper banner in the left-hand column, and it was doing pretty well. After I started making some nice money with this website, I certainly built a few other websites that drew in traffic, and placed AdSense ads on those, trying to get some additional revenue. Some of those other websites did pretty well. Some of them didn't do pretty well. After a number of years, however, with AdSense on the flag site, I started wondering about could I increase the amount of revenue that I was getting from the flag site. And as I was surfing around looking for inspiration, I saw some other websites were doing things. They were talking about how people have ad blindness, and people just don't look at the ads anymore. And so if you do something to call attention to your ads, you can increase the click-through rate of your ads, which means you could make more money. And so in 2010, I did some of those click-through rate enhancements. I added some pictures above my ads on USA Flag site, and what do you know, it worked. It worked fantastically. As a matter of fact, my click-through rate actually tripled on the website. Unfortunately, I didn't read the Google quality guidelines well enough, and I pretty soon learned that what I had done here was against the rules at Google, and I got banned. And you can see that my earnings for the flag site dropped to nothing. The website itself was not banned entirely from Google. It was just that this one website was kicked out of the Google AdSense program. Now back at that time, Google's a little different today, but back at that time, it just was not possible that you could pick up the phone or send an email to somebody at Google and say, hey, I've got a problem. Can you help me out here? I searched high and low to find a way that I could get out of that, and I was unable to. Almost coincidentally, a few months later, I was invited to a Google AdSense event. I still had a number of websites that were generating AdSense revenue, and I got invited to a Google AdSense event for publishers in Austin, Texas. I flew down there with the sole focus of finding somebody that could hear my story, I could apologize to, tell them I understand what I did. I know I broke the guidelines, and I've fixed that. I understand that I broke the rules, and it's not going to happen again. And as luck would have it, the very first Google employee that I met at the office in Austin, Texas, worked for the quality guidelines team. I told her a little bit of my story, told her the website domain name. She said, why don't we talk again after the AdSense presentation, and I'll see what I can do. 30 minutes later, I got up from the presentation to walk back there, and she said, I've already taken care of it. And it was a huge relief to me. It was a fantastic situation, and almost immediately the website was back to earning AdSense traffic, and things were patched up with my wife. So there were a number of other websites that I've created over the years that I have used AdSense as a means of monetization on. FactExpert.com is one example of that. And you can see here I've got 3 different types of AdSense ads showing on here. FactExpert has done fairly well. You can see that over the course of time that we're looking at, it had about 600,000 unique visitors, and it did generate some nice revenue through AdSense. Here's another type of website that I put together. It's a large sports forum, GoTeamsGo.com, with sub forums for every pro and college football team pretty much in the nation. I worked on it very hard for a couple of years. It had some really good content from so many people coming out there. The problem with it was a couple of situations that were problems with it. Number one, the content that they were writing, I couldn't perform my search engine optimization on that because there was so much content. People were posting so much information, which is a very good thing. However, I couldn't optimize it. And so it brought in a lot of traffic. However, if you look at the stats here, over the course of time, this website's brought in over 3 million visitors, but it has, compared to some of the other websites where I've done AdSense, has brought in almost no revenue. And so after I'd worked very hard on it for a couple of years, I basically had to abandon it from a full-time focus where I thought I was going to make money on it, and I went on to other ventures that could help support my family better. So one of the biggest things that I've learned in dealing with Google AdSense is that you've got to have a lot of visitors to your website. You've got to have traffic. The handful of websites where I've been successful with AdSense have generated over 11,000 visitors since I've started in the Google AdSense program, and at last count it was a little over $150,000. But at the same time, not everything has worked. So, for example, I learned that forum didn't work. GoTeamsGo.com didn't work. It did have a lot of content on the website, but it was written by just people coming to the website, and so I couldn't do a lot of search engine optimization on it. And so it wasn't very focused. Another big problem was that it was just too time intensive. It took too much of my time to manage the site, and I just couldn't afford to continue investing in that because there was a very poor click-through rate. People just didn't click on the ads. And as I told you, I've learned you cannot do things to encourage people to click on the ads or you can get banned. From a business standpoint, 3 million visitors and only about $7,000 of revenues. From a business standpoint, that did not perform very well. However, websites like factexpert.com, I was able to have good quality content. Every page on there is well written, well researched, and it has very good search engine optimization built into it. So it did bring in a lot of visitors. And it did make some nice money. So, and I've got examples of similar sites where they have done fairly well. But hands down, the single best performing website that I've got out there is the flag site that I mentioned before. It was really the very first large scale website that I built to test my SEO skills, and I did pretty well. Another thing that's going in its favor is that it does have some great content on it. A lot of the content never changes. We call it evergreen content. So, for example, the lyrics to a lot of the patriotic songs, those don't change. The preamble to the Constitution, that information doesn't change. I also have been able to attract a number of people who are world-class experts in the study of flags, and they post regularly on the website, and so there's a lot of very high quality expert commentary about flags and the study of flags and the science of flags on the website, and I believe that helps by having some exceptional content. Another thing that the flag site has going for it is that it's been out there for a very long time, and it's shown itself to be a valuable resource for flag information across the internet. So, some of the things that I have lined up for the flag site to do is that I'm positioning myself to get some additional expert content that we'll include on the website. We're looking at going back through the optimization of the website and actually improving that. Another thing that we're going to be working on in the coming months is that we're going to be updating the look and feel. We're going to be doing a redesign of the website so that it's got a more modern look and feel, so that when people come to the website, they don't look at it and they say, oh, that's an old website. Another thing that we've not done up to this point is we've not incorporated any form of social media, and social media is becoming more and more important for not only your overall web presence, but also specifically for search engine optimization. Since about late 2010, Google has publicly said that they do take into account your social media profile when they are deciding whether you rank number 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm going to be working to include social media into the entire marketing plan of USA Flag Site. If what you've heard here sounds like it's something along the lines of what would be helpful for you, I've got a suggestion for you. What should your next step be? Well, if you're in the Nashville area, I run the Nashville SEO and Internet Marketing Group. And every month we have a free meeting. We usually have 20, 30, 40, 50 people show up. We have it at the last Thursday of each month. And we talk about all things related to internet marketing, inbound marketing, social media marketing, search engine optimization, email marketing, any topic along those lines. Our agenda is normally that we have a presentation. Might be a 15-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute presentation on a topic. It could be a roundtable discussion about current trends in the world of internet marketing. And then finally, the last thing that we do at each one of our meetings is we have an SEO audit of a website belonging to somebody in our audience. We'll pull up 1 or 2 websites, and we'll take a look at the website with an eye on what have you done for search engine optimization and internet marketing, what areas have you done well with, and where do we see some opportunities for improvement. So if you're in the Nashville area or you're close to Middle Tennessee, we'd love to have you. You can find more information just by going to Google or Bing and search for Nashville SEO Group. You'll find us. You can also find us. We typically organize on meetup.com. You can also find us there as the Nashville Internet Marketing Group. That focuses on SEO the last Thursday of every month. We hope you'll join us, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Again, I'm Ross Jones with To The Top Web Design.